Let's go!
When it comes to playing fighting games online, I can go about 3 to 5 hour sessions. On average, it's 4 hours before I'm just kind of done, even with any fighting game, right? Dealing with people like trying to stream snipe you or just general bullshit or bad netcode in some cases. Like, there's about like a 3 to 4 hour bridge where I'm just like, all right, give me a break, right? When you have the chat room and you have to like handle all this with figuring out how to remember how to play these games, even in KI, like it gets a little hot-headed, and by hot-headed, like my brain literally heats up, and it's a bit much, and I feel like I just want, it's not frustration, it's exhaustion, and that's what it is. It becomes like exhaustion at the point where after like 3 to 4 hours, the things become frustrating. Yeah, and here's the thing, I didn't want to stop. Like, I don't like quitting on that shit. Unless, and the thing is, I don't like quitting when I really enjoy it. I don't like quitting when I love those characters. UI Goku is fucking awesome. Like, these characters are amazing. I want to deal with this game's bullshit. You know what I mean? There's a level, chat. Every fighting game has this level of, I call it the bullshit gauge, where every single fighting game has mechanics or core systems or something that is total bullshit. You're eventually going to learn of that bullshit the more you play of the game. Every single fighting game is going to have this. It doesn't matter which one you love more than others. If you are even really good at one, you've already surpassed the bullshit and you've accepted it. And that's what I mean. There's a level of acceptance when it comes to fighting games bullshit, right? Stuff that is frustrating, stuff that is either not well designed or you just don't like. What's KI's? Being combo broken. What do you mean, what is KI's? What is Killer Instinct's bullshit? Killer Instinct's bullshit is not knowing what the fuck to break. Are you kidding me? It's total bullshit. It's surface level bullshit too. It permeates the entire game. The entire game. But here's the thing, does the bullshit of a fighting game ruin it? Is the bullshit worth it to make its way through to understand, circumvent, and overcome? Or is it so much unfun that it's hard for you to get around the bullshit of this game? And I'm gonna name some bullshit things that I very much don't like about 3 games right now. And this is core mechanics, not even just online. Super Dash in Dragon Ball FighterZ, obviously. Strike Throw in Mortal Kombat 11, absolute bullshit, how it's a 50-50 guess. Oh, by the way, Breakaway as well. I think Breakaway is super bullshit. What was the last game I wanted to mention? Oh, X Factor. Yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, X Factor. 3 very popular fighting games, right? Very popular fighting games that have complete bullshit. Things that make the game just stressful and not fun. But here's the thing. Are those things aggressively unfun or frustrating enough for you to want to circumvent, move past, and become better at the game because you have things in the game that make you love it? And in some situations, I do. Like, when it came to Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I loved playing those characters in this game, so I keep playing it. Was it bullshit? It absolutely was, but the combination of X Factor and certain characters in Marvel 3 with the online, whoa, that's too much bullshit for me, right? Just too much bullshit. And then the same thing sort of applies for like Dragon Ball, and the same thing sort of applies for Mortal Kombat 11 to an extent. But I'm not even taking out the games that I'm talking about. Like, you want to talk about a game with an insurmountable amount of freaking bullshit. Third Strike. Third Strike has so much bullshit in it, it's crazy. My favorite fighting game of all time. At one point, I didn't like parry, right? I didn't like that people could stop things at all times. And then the Daigo parry happened, you realize how cool it is, and then you learn how to do it, and you realize how sick it actually can make fights, you know? And it's a bullshit mechanic. It essentially ruins what Street Fighter is, but at the same time, it's what makes Third Strike great. It's what makes that game feel so good. It's what makes the engagements in that game so interesting, that you have footsies, and then you have all these levels of things on top of it. My point is that all fighting games have bullshit. And some fighting games, you're willing to put up with that stuff more because of what? It has a character you love, it has visuals you love, it has other aspects that make you so happy that you're willing to put up with the game's bullshit. And then go play online, regardless of how bad the online is. Or play these fucking weird character matchups that characters are clearly better than others, but you're fine with it because you love your character, right? If there's things in a fighting game, like I said, I've been saying this a lot lately, if there's things in your fighting game that you really love, you'll find a way to make it past all the difficult frustrating bullshit things that fighting games have. That's just the bottom line. And for me personally, some fighting games that I have absolutely stopped playing because I just didn't want to deal with this level of bullshit in combination with the online, or in some situations the online. Injustice 2 is a great example. Game's bullshit is that you have to walk and crouch and approach, and the neutral of that game is more you throw projectiles, you think less about it, and you just do it. The approach to that is like, oh, you just have to learn those matchups. But what is the matchup? It's essentially walking forward, ducking, walking forward, ducking, walking forward, ducking, right, until you make your way in. Is that a bad thing about Injustice 2? It's not. It's arguably not a bad thing about that game. But is it something that I want to overcome and deal with? It isn't. I don't find that fun. Like, even if I got good at this, would I want to be dealing with this at high level? No. This isn't fun. I don't think there's a character in the game that makes me like the game enough to circumvent that stuff. A very similar thing happened in Guilty Gear, like Xrd Rev 2 when Baiken was around. And I trained Baiken for like 2 or 3 days. Like, I trained so much with her. The thing that I lacked was like matchup knowledge, obviously, but Baiken in combination with the games online, and I'm playing against people that are across the world, dude, and my Baiken combos are difficult as shit to do. This is like early Baiken. I don't know how much stuff changed, but this was like when she was around launch. Things were so difficult to do, and I didn't even already really enjoy what I was doing with Baiken, but I love Baiken as a physical, sort of like cool looking character. I love her character design, but her game plan was just like, all right, IAD Tatami mat. All right, like do this. I have to do the alpha counter thing here. Right, I have to do all these things that require a lot of game knowledge. And then I was like, Jesus, man, this seems so frustrating and so hard online. So insanely frustrating and hard. Like, for every one cool Baiken corner loop IAD combo I was able to get, I would drop like 4 more. And it was just super frustrating because of having to deal with the games online in combination with all that stuff. So much to the point where immediately after, I'm like, all right, I just need to refresh my head because I've been doing this for hours now and it's just rough. I switched to Leo and I start winning. I switched to Leo and I have to use so much less of my brain with this character because a lot of what Leo does circumvents matchups. Leo can sort of stop certain matchups. He can sort of just play his own game in many ways. And that's the way a lot of Guilty Gear characters can sort of play, which is what makes Guilty Gear very unique. He plays his own game. So I was just doing the things that work with Leo, and I'm like, this is so much easier. I've had to train so much less on this character too to get stuff done. And it's also the fact that Leo's stuff is much easier to do online. So was that worth dealing with the game's bullshit beyond that? I found it more frustrating than not. Right, more frustrating than not. I just want to wait, right? I'll just wait. I'll come back to this game every once in a while. I don't think auto combos in Dragon Ball are worthy of like super bullshit. I think auto combos switching sides is total bullshit. Jump force is bullshit? Okay, there's just a certain degree where I'm just like, I don't know if I want to play any more of this. And I think that's where we were with jump force. All it boils down to is, regardless, if you love things in a fighting game, you're gonna find your way around, right? And even fighting games like Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, which is fine, I obviously have issues with the games online, but at the same time, that game is fun. My biggest issue with Grand Blue Fantasy Versus is that I don't have a character that I really love yet, you know? There hasn't been a single character that has come into that game that I'm just like, man, this character looks great, this character plays great, and usually how many characters do you need to satisfy that feeling? How many characters do you need to be that for you all the time? Pretty much just one. One character for you to like really love and for you to really enjoy playing. Sometimes some characters in other fighting games where just one character I love playing as will make me play the whole damn game. Doesn't even matter. I don't even play any other characters. I just played the one. What's MKX's bullshit? I almost passed out. That someone just asked me what is Mortal Kombat X's bullshit. Push block is a useless, way too expensive mechanic. The game favors offense so much, right? Offense is so powerful in MKX that people will get blown up no matter what. It makes defense super impressive because you have to make so many guesses all the damn time in a game like MKX. Yeah, it's Oki everywhere, the game. the funny thing is that it's part of what makes the game interesting too, because people get blown up left and right? That's the thing that makes it kind of crazy, is that the people that are really good at MKX, that is like impressive, because they're able to actually stop all the ridiculous left and right 50-50 things you have to block all the time. And that's what makes it like unique or interesting. The game definitely should have had a push block, and it does have a push block, but it's 2 bars and way too expensive. That's absolute bullshit, right? It is bullshit. However, even with that in mind, the game has such fun characters and such fun combos. And it is fun executing these things on people. Being on the receiving end, maybe not. But at the same time, does it ruin the game? Absolutely not. What is Marvel Infinite's bullshit? Almost all the stones, right? Almost all the stones are complete bullshit, right? I think almost every single stone is bullshit. Oh God. Oh my God. Super into tag is total bullshit. Total bullshit. Super tag is total bullshit. And if there's one thing, like I defend Marvel Infinite's gameplay, like to the bone. I really think it's good. And I think it's like the best, most thought out stuff that Capcom has actually done in a very long time. However, super into tag is total bullshit, dude. It's not good. And it's dumb. It's actually, in my opinion, super dumb. If that wasn't in the game, or if there was something that, right, didn't let you have to deal with being mixed 7 times while you're just eating Dante Super, maybe that would be good, right? But the thing that I love about MVCI circumvents all of that the game's neutral is bonkers, right? The game's neutral is insane. It's so hyperactive. You're always encouraged to do things. You're always encouraged to be tagging. You're always encouraged to be like getting your characters to throw out the most insane stuff. I know that MVCI is a game that people have complained about because of its lack of assists, but those are genuinely the players that never played it enough to realize that everything is an assist. The game went 3 levels above what Marvel vs. Capcom normally does, and they're like, well, instead of giving our players more options for assist, right? Instead of there being like an alpha, beta, omega version of assist, instead of there being 6 versions of assist, instead of like even a game like Skullgirls letting you choose which thing you want and having that assist pop in and out. That's like a proper evolution of what's going on, right? MVCI was like, nah. How about the tag system allows you just to do whatever you want to be an assist? To me, that's amazing. To me, that is a true evolution of Marvel vs. Capcom and tag-based fighting games, right? And they actually designed the game around it. Was there some busted shit? And is there some broken, stupid shit? Of course there is. But they already took huge strides in the first patches, and the game's great. Like, the game's super fun. So all things considered, there is absolutely bullshit in MVCI, and I love that game. It's clearly a game where I'm willing to do such cool stuff with my characters and convert combos from the most insane places that it's worth it for me. It's worth dealing with the game's bullshit. That's like the conclusion of my fighting game bullshit story, is that all fighting games are gonna have bullshit no matter what. They're gonna have things that frustrate you. They're gonna have things that you think are dumb or poorly designed or whatnot. And I can say the absolute same for my favorite fighting games of all time.